solidified his position as one of the Dodgers' three best relievers. The club is only using him for multiple innings at a time. All right? And they want to give him ample rest. Scott Alexander, who began the year as the team left-handed specialist, but he wasn't getting any left-handers out, and he went on the injured list. He won't be expected to return. For the Mets, Zach Wheeler, his last three starts, 19 innings, 4 earned runs, 12 hits, 20 strikeouts, only 4 walks, only 1 run allowed. On the year, he's 4.4 ERA. The big talk has been the Yankees and the Mets really match up. All right? Really match up. But very hard to think that the Yankees and the Mets will make a deal. Okay? It just doesn't happen. The Brewers, the Cardinals, the Twins, the Rays, and the Red Sox, all among teams that would love to get Zach Wheeler. Okay? So Zach Wheeler and Steven Matz, two names that are really being bantered around by the New York Mets. If the Yankees want Wheeler, they may have to blow away all the other offers, given the Mets' reluctance year after year to deal with their crosstown rivals, as we are called. Yeah, Wheeler, he's last year of his contract. It's also been said, Malpal, that the Yankees are interested and that the Mets don't want to offer him the $18 million qualifying offer for fear that he may take it, and they don't think he's worth it, okay? So in his last start against the Yankees back on June 11th, he gave up 9 runs. So, look, you never know. I remember seeing Mike Minor in the Arizona Fall League All-Star game. He didn't even get out of the first inning, and somehow that image of Mike Minor hasn't left my head. So sometimes that plays a bigger effect. Since May 1st, the Cardinals' .228 batting average is tied with Toronto for the lowest in baseball. Their .302 on-base percentage is tied with the White Sox for the third lowest. No team, zero, zilch, nada, has had fewer extra base hits than the St. Louis Cardinals since the start of May. Now, the White Sox come in second to last, but it's not even close. Only 4 teams, the Giants, the Royals, the Tigers, and the Marlins, have hit fewer home runs than the Cardinals. So it's been a tough ride for the St. Louis Cardinal, and it's important to remember that these numbers include Marcell Ozuna, 10 doubles, 10 home runs, 34 RBIs. And he's on the injured list with the fractured finger. Or fingers, okay? So just keep in mind. Once again, I'll tell you something. The Cardinals really going to have to shake things up if they want to get back into it. And before the Nationals began spring training in February, and really well before Anthony Rendon tore up the first half with a .311 average, 19 home runs, 58 RBIs. I'll tell you what, they haven't been, have had hard negotiations. And especially Altuve, he was in a similar situation. He agreed to a 5-year, $151 million extension in March. But Rendon's representative, headed by Scott Boras, believed that the Altuve contract is what he wants for Anthony Rendon. So this is going to be, could Rendon... Did the Washington Nationals learn from experience with Bryce Harper that it's better off to get something for these guys? But can they trade Rendon if the team is in the playoffs? No way. No way. Could you imagine what they could get for Max Scherzer? Moving over to the American League, and once again, a sincere thanks for everybody for being in the chat room. Let me say hello to Doug Boyle, who has made it, the Amazons, Malpal, that guy, Traveler, and of course the great Unholy Toledo, who I'll be seeing you soon, coming out to Toledo, Zelmo, and White Sox Al. We always say White Sox Al. The Red Sox, as we move to the American League, have losing records to the Yankees, Cleveland, Houston, and Tampa. And when they put it all together, they go into Minnesota and come back within a whisker of a sweep. I'll tell you something, it's been tough. Their bullpen, and Andrea has been ranting about this. The Red Sox bullpen squandered 12 potential starter wins, handed it after Eddie Rodriguez on Sunday. But I'll tell you something. But on the other side, they have held the line enough to allow the offense to bail out 12 potential starter losses. So, look, the Red Sox lead the league in average, and 84 games is no small sample size. Cleveland home field advantage worked in his favor. I'll tell you that right now. And I'm talking about you don't make the All-Star team for the fourth straight year by signing a few autographs and waving to the crowd. Francisco Lindor. Remember at the start of spring training with, when he hurt himself with that strained right calf. Who would have thought then that he would be in the All-Star game? Okay, but look, and should he be? Should Xander Bogaerts be in the All-Star game? Do you think that that it was because it's Cleveland? All right? I don't know. But after he batted .243, he was 9 for 37 in his last 9 games in April. Francisco Lindor is now 33 for 112, .295 batting average. He did that in the month of May. And then in June, 34 for 112. That was a .304 batting average, 4 homers and 7 RBIs. If you had to make a choice, All-Star, Xander Bogaerts or Francisco Lindor, let's put that to the chat room, who knows better than anybody. Who would you rather have, Francisco Lindor, or would you rather have Xander Bogaerts as your shortstop? Okay? Now, Polanco, Jorge, he was voted the American League starting shortstop. Okay? And Lindor was the only reserve shortstop voted onto the team. Tim Anderson. How about Tim Anderson? What? How about Elvis Andrus? How about Gleyber Torres? 19 home runs. That, ladies and gentlemen, means he has a chance to hit 40. I don't know. I think this could have been the biggest mistake of any All-Star pick, all right? Any All-Star pick. The Astros, of course, they had this fella, Ugorty, made his Major League debut. Didn't look so good, okay, but okay. We'll give him that. And unsurprisingly, the White Sox, Lucas Giolito, named to the All-Star team, going with 2 teammates. You kidding me? So the White Sox have three players in the All-Star game. Abreu, McCann, and Giolito. I'm telling you, beginning of the year, I thought the White Sox would be the surprise team. Absolutely. I didn't think they would win anything, but I just thought they'd be a good team, and this team is going to be terrific. They are my pick next year to win the American League Central Division. With 16 home runs at the season's midpoint, despite the fact that he missed, 2 weeks with a sore wrist, Nelson Cruz, on his way to his 6th straight 30-homer season, named the only player who has 7 30-home run seasons. Currently the longest streak in Major League Baseball. So, name that player. Who is it? Got more consecutive 30-home run streaks than Nelson Cruz. And he's doing more. He's batting .284. He was hit by a pitch 4 times. On-base percentage of .372. So, Cruz is doing well. All right? It's very hard to argue for those 3 Sox. Good morning, the Amazins. Good morning to everybody. I'm so happy to see that you're all here. Home runs after their 39th birthday, Barry Bonds, Carlton Fisk, Dave Winfield, Darrell Evans, Hank Aaron, David Ortiz, Carl Yastrzemski, Raleigh Bonniers, and Ted Williams. But at age 39, Barry Bonds, 2004, 45 home runs. 2003, Aaron, at age 39, hit 40 home runs. Ortiz hit 38, Palmeiro 38, Ted Williams 38. Remember Steve Finley? 36. What was that all about at age 39? And Daniel Vogelbach, who was sent down to the minor leagues, 5 separate occasions last year. This is a good story. Named to the American League All-Star team. 26 years old. 20 home runs, 48 RBIs. I love this one. Love it. I love this one. Now, I was going to talk about this yesterday. So, and good morning, Brooks. We're having some fun there, right, on Wall Street, right? It's been pretty. Today'll be another good day. You'll see. It's going to open up on the positive. So this kid Calhoun has worked out at second base since he was injured in mid-May for the Texas Rangers, and they want that to keep going. Calhoun's also going to get work at third base, but the Rangers aren't making any plans right now to play him either at second or short. The Rangers don't have a Major League ready third baseman on the roster for 2020. And Roughneck Odor, who knows if he's a second baseman. So Calhoun, he was originally signed as a second baseman, but they moved him to the outfield. Okay? He struggled in the outfield, and he's not very athletic. He lost 30 pounds, but just keep in mind that Calhoun could be a player to pick up for next year. All right, so that takes care of the little notes. Once again, sincere thanks to everybody for being here. George is here. Good morning to George. The furthest thing from an imbecile that I have ever seen, okay? Anthony Rendon to the Rangers. Book it, says Brooks. Willie Calhoun, okay? Yeah, he does have bricks, but he's got a bat also. All right, let's just go over yesterday's games. Patrick Corbin wearing number 45, 7 strong innings. Doolittle got the win, pitched 1 inning. Juan Soto, 2-run homer in the first, added a triple. The Nationals have won 6 of 7. It's the 3rd straight game that Corbin has pitched 7 innings. He allowed 1 run and at least 7 strikeouts. And for Miami, Zach Gallen allowed 2 runs in 2 innings, but the rain delay screwed up his night. And Rendon said he may skip the All-Star game. He's been dealing with a lot of injuries for a while, bumps and bruises, so we'll see about that. The Nationals homered, 16th consecutive game, okay? Harold Ramirez, 1 for 4. He has been a tremendous pickup. He's a good player. Think about him for next year. 1 for 4. He's hit safely in all 8 of his career games against the Nats, 12 for 44 if you're playing DFS. 12 for 44 is 347 against Washington. Brian Anderson left the game in the 2nd inning. Little elbow contusion. X-rays were okay. Caleb Smith had some left hip inflammation. He threw 5 innings at Double-A, so he'll be okay. The Cubs and the Pirates over the last 2 games, Adam Frazier, 9 hits, including 6 extra base hits. He's the 4th Major League player since 1950 to have 9+ total hits and 6 extra base hits over a 2-game span. Name the other 3. And none of them are playing, okay? But you all know the names of the players. There are 4 players in Major League Baseball history since 1950 to have 9 or more total hits and 6 extra base hits over a 2-game span. 1973, 1987, and 2002, okay? So anybody want to take a shot with that? And last night, 2nd time in Craig Kimbrell's career that he's allowed multiple home runs in a game. The Pirates actually pulled within 4 games of the Milwaukee Brewers and to win 3 games of the Cubs. The Pirates have beaten the Cubs, who've really been a thorn in their side, by an aggregate score of, listen to this, 23-6 over their first 2 games in this very interesting series, okay? So name the other 3 players who have had 9 or more total hits, 6 or more extra base hits in any 2-game series, okay? Wasn't Mays, wasn't Mantle. Good guess. Wasn't Ken Griffey. Andrea's just pulling stuff out of her knucklehead. Starlin Marte had 2 hits for the Pirates. Josh Bell, 78 RBIs. 78. Chicago has now lost 3